Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time for the final crafting video of A Realm Reborn. I said we'd be hunting Odin today. My mistake, we're hunting Odin tomorrow. But today we're going to be gathering the last few collectible items in A Realm Reborn, the last few things we have not gathered yet. Let's see, what is still missing from our list? Yellow copper ore, have not had an excuse to grab. Dragon obsidian, cannot reach. Actually, wait, these are both Heavensward items. Okay, so can't touch those. Virgin basilisk egg is new. What else is new? What else do we need to get today? Grade 3 topsoil. I'm not going to worry about it. That's for gardening. You can find those in Lenosha, the Shroud, and Thanalin at level 50 mining spots. For botany, what do we got? What have we not collected? Bamboo sticks, we'll be getting that soon. And then these two are going to be Heavensward. And then finally, for harvesting, I think, yeah, it's just the two at the bottom, Old World Fig and Old World Fig Seeds, which are Heavensward. Alright, well, other than the topsoil then, we're grabbing everything else today. Everything we have not yet collected, we're gathering today. So, first off, from 5 p.m. Eorzean time to, I'm going to assume 9 p.m., up here in northern Thanalin, southeast of Cerulean Processing Plant, northeast of Camp Blue Fog, we can find ourselves this gathering spot with virgin basilisk eggs. We need 2 of them. Okay, well, that's easy. Hey, and that gives me a spirit bond complete. Nice. Alright, let me go ahead and put away everything but the 2 I need. And then I'll meet you at the next gathering spot for the last item we need to gather. Alright, the other material we need is the bamboo sticks found here in Upper Lenosia from 7 a.m. to, I'm going to say, probably noonish Eorzean time. And let's see, I believe we only need 5 of them. So let's go ahead and gather them up real quick. And that, other than the grade 3 soil, which I'm not worried about, that should be everything. That is all the high-level collectibles. That is everything you can gather, just period, in A Realm Reborn. Excellent. Alright, off to more donuts so we can get crafting. Alright, before we get to the real crafting of the day, I actually forgot to do something, so I'm gonna stick it in right here. This feels like the best place for it. I forgot to get the Relic Tools, the final steps of the Relic Tools for our crafters and gatherers. So, in order to get those, we're gonna need to do some crafting, followed by some trading. Let's see. We'll start off with our crystals that we need. I already did all the crafting off screen, so we're just gonna go over the materials, and then we'll do the trades, and then we'll get our Relic Tools. In terms of our crystals, we're going to need 40 wind shards, 40 fire clusters, 25 ice clusters, 50 wind clusters, 35 ice clusters, 25 lightning clusters, and 26 water clusters. 26? Is that right? I guess it is 26. Interesting. Alright then. Next up will be the timed gathering. In Central Shroud, we have timed botany for 5 shroud tea leaves. In North Shroud, we have timed botany for 5 scarlet sap. In Northern Thanalin, we have timed mining for 10 ferbrite. Alright, next up, let's move on to the regular gathering. In Western do we want to start in Western Thanalin? We were just in Shroud, so let's actually start in Shroud. In North Shroud, North Shroud is going to be all trades with the Ixal. Alright, we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, South Shroud, we can use regular botany for 5 thyme and 10 tarantulas. Yes, tarantulas. In Western Thanalin, we can use our regular botany for 20 wild onions and 10 Garlean garlic. In Northern Thanalin, we can do our regular mining for 5 basilisk eggs. Looks like we're heading to Lenosha next. In Upper Lenosha, we can use our regular botany for 10 siltstone. And let's see. In Mordona, we're not going to worry about Mordona. Okay, that's interesting that they actually include that there. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, next up is going to be a ton of stuff that you can either get from the Ixal or from your Grand Company. We'll start with the stuff that comes from the Ixal, and then we'll move on to stuff that comes from the Kobolds, actually, and then we'll move on to stuff that you can only get from Grand Companies. From the Ixali vendor in the North Shroud, we can get 10 Sheelite, 5 Saurian Skin, 5 Razic Sand, 5 Petrified Logs, 9 Filtered Water, 5 Emery, 5 Cashmere Fleece, and 5 Canard Breasts. You're going to need a lot of Ixali Oak Knots for that, so you may want to get some of those from your Grand Company, though the things we need for the Grand Company are also rather expensive in their own way. In Outer Lenosia from the Kobold vendor, we can get 6 Vitriol. Then the things that can only come from our Grand Company, we can get, for Grand Company seals, 15 Urushi, 15 Lampblack Linseed Oil, 15 heat-resistant plaster, 15 duck bones, 15 composite whetstones, 15 clear fluorite, 15 camel hair, and 15 black cinnabar. And all of that stuff that can only come from our Grand Company, you can also get for hunt seals, I want to say, by talking to the hunt vendor. For pre-crafts, we want to, as Goldsmith, make 5 Siltstone whetstones and 5 Basilisk whetstones. That's going to be level 30 and level 40 respectively. Then as Alchemist, at the 2-star level 50 crafts, we can make 1 craft of diluted vitriol for 5 total. Then from there, we've got 3-star Mastercraft 1 recipes for each of our crafters. Carpenter has 5 petrified orbs. Blacksmith has 5 mummer's daggers. Armor has 5 lapdog collar bell. Goldsmith has 5 fluorite lenses. Leatherworker has 5 patent leather. Weaver has 5 camlets. Alchemist has 5 enchanted quicksilver. And Culinarian has 5 duck broth. Once you have all of those in high quality, we will be able to trade for our relic tools. Now, if any of those come out as normal quality for whatever reason, like say you just had a bad craft and it came out as normal quality, that's fine, because you can trade in the normal quality version for a bunch of those Grand Company sealed materials that you use. Anything they use Grand Company seals for, you get back, as long as you just trade in the normal quality versions to Talon here. So, not a big deal if you do not get high quality the first try. Just trade in the items for your Grand Company materials back, and you can try again. Now then, our Lucis tools. Let's start by getting, I guess, the Gatherer tools. And let's see. Ooh, right, I need to pull out the magic oilcloth, bamboo paper, and glacier crystals from... I already did this. Don't need to worry about this. This is for the fishing episode. But magic oilcloth and bamboo paper we need to grab. I need 15 of each. I believe those are going to be with Altoon. Where are they? Where? Here we go. Magic oilcloth, we need 15. And bamboo paper, there you are. We need 15. Okay then, back to Talon. Let's do our Gatherer tools. So, for this, we're gonna need 30 Entumbral rocks, 30 Redolent logs. Each of these, we have gotten these before. We actually use these to get our... I believe we use these, to get our Supra tools. So we've already gathered these before. These are going to be East Thandolin and Central Shroud, respectively, on timed gathering. As for the magic oilcloth and bamboo paper, those come from Grand Company seals. So trade with your Grand Company for them. They are untradeable. You cannot get them from other players. Once we have what we need, 30 and 15, we can trade for our Seals of Mining and Botany Mastery. Then we can trade our Super Tool, our Seal of Mining Mastery or Botany Mastery, and 5 Moonstones which you get from Treasure Hunt, from Grand Company Seals, or from doing Ixal daily deliveries. Trade those for our Lucis tools. I have so many Moonstones. Let's get our Mammon and Rowney. And there we go. Our Lucis tools for our gatherers are now in hand. Nice. I should have checked what the actual upgrade to our stats is, but it's not a big deal. I guess we can go and compare real quick. So let's see. The Supra is 150 and 80. 153 and 88 versus 179 and 102. So that's plus 26 gathering and plus 14 perception, and that's going to be the same on both. Very nice. Also plus 1 damage, as if we need damage as a gatherer, because hopefully we're not fighting enemies in the first place. Now then, let's get our Lucis tools for our crafters. And yeah, for this we just need our super tool, the 5 high quality things we crafted, and 5 moonstones. And let's look at the stat comparison. 149 to 180 craftsmanship, so that's plus 31 craftsmanship, very nice. And control goes up by 14 from 83 to 97. Come on, let me do the trade. Here we go, that puts everything close together. Tool time for the hand. I did not get an equivalent achievement for the for gatherers because I actually got that for Fisher in the upcoming fishing episode. Don't worry about it. Okay. Halfway through. But why is the leatherworker tool called the Pinga? It just makes me think of the old Sonic YouTube poop meme. At least Paracelsus makes some sense. Name for Paracelsus. Or Paracelsus, depending on how it was translated into your language, I suppose. I've heard it as both, actually. Okay, that is all of our crafter tools. Let's get those equipped. And that increases our item level to 62 on everything. Nice, that should make our crafting go a little bit smoother in general. Though notably, Fisher is still only item level 55, despite having its relic tool, its Lucis Relic Tool at this point. We'll get into that eventually, several expansions from now. It's one of the more frustrating parts of Fisher, the fact that they just don't bother to fix this issue. Alright then, now let's go ahead and cut back over to actually doing today's crafting, which will be back on the super tools because I forgot to do that initially. We'll be back for that. I guess we'll be back to finish off the crafting and then we will be done for the day. Alright then, let's go ahead and get started on the crafting. I've got about 33 minutes till the other thing I need to collect is available. The bamboo stick, you've already seen it. I'm going to put it in before this, but I've got 33 minutes until that's ready, so I'm going to start crafting everything else in the meantime. And go over what we're actually crafting today. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started on crafting the first thing. And then while my macros are going, I'll go ahead and start going over all the ingredients and everything else we need, as well as what we're crafting. So we're going to be crafting basically everything that we have not yet crafted in A Realm Reborn. So let's see. Get started with this model Magitech bit. I have a wonderful macro to do everything for me, and let's start reading off our crafting list. Starting off with crystals. For everything we're crafting today, we need 102 fire shards, 3 wind shards, 119 lightning shards, 11 water shards, 6 fire crystals, 110 wind crystals, 63 earth crystals, 147 lightning oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yes, no, crystals. 147 lightning crystals, and 94 water crystals. I was supposed to start correcting crystals to shards, but no, it is crystals, not shards. So I said 94 water shards, 147, sorry, 94 water crystals, 147 lightning crystals. I'm doing it again. Okay. Let me go ahead and get started on the next one, and this is just going to be a bit of back and forth while I am, going down the list. Next up as Goldsmith. This next one's going to be from our Demi Materia Mastercraft that we picked up during fishing back in patch 2.4, I believe. 2.3, I believe. And we're making the thick-rimmed glasses. Glamour gear. Okay. Back to reading through the crystals. In addition to the crystals, we also need 13 fire clusters, 1 ice cluster, 20 wind clusters, 10 earth clusters, 47 lightning clusters, and 50 water clusters. In terms of the timed gathering, yeah, since time gathering is time sensitive, I'll go ahead and go over those before I go over the individual areas. From the Central Shroud, we need 13 cypress logs. From the East Shroud, we need 32 silkworm cocoons and 2 rosemary, and all these so far have all been from botany. Oh, my macro's too quick for me. Okay, so next is leatherworker. And this one's gonna be the ice barding that we're making. Hey, ice barding for Shiva! Okay. Back to reading. Next up, from mining in Eastern Lenosia, we need 4 volcanic rock salt. From botany in Western Lenosia, 1 Lenosian leek. From botany in Upper Lenosia, 5 bamboo sticks. From mining in Southern Thanalan, 16 platinum ore. From mining in Northern Thanalan, 2 virgin basilisk eggs. From botany in Kurth's Central Highlands, 2 vampire plants. 2 Thavnarian mistletoe. And 16 spruce logs. And from mining in Kurth's Central Highlands, 6 darksteel ore. Alright, that is it for the timed gathering, so next up will be the regular gathering. Let's start with North Shroud after I get the next thing crafting. Okay, what's next? What's next on my list? Let's see, we got the ice barding, so next up is going to be more leatherworker. This time we're going to be doing Demi Materia Mastercraft. And actually, these next few things we're going to be crafting are, a few of these things we're going to be crafting, the best man's and bridesmaids gear. You can actually get those for a pretty reasonable price from a merchant in Ul'dah. They just sell them. You don't need to craft them. But we're going to craft them. Griffin skin eye patch you cannot get from those merchants, but the best man's and bridesmaid sets, those are from a merchant in Ul'dah if you don't want to craft them yourself. All right, let's get the Griffin skin eye patch crafting. And let's see, let's start going through with North Shroud. Okay, starting off in North Shroud, we're going to start with the stuff we can get from the Ixali vendor. Anything we can get from the Ixali vendor for the Ixali Oak Knots, we can also get from our Grand Company for Grand Company seals if you have not done the Ixali Society quests, or if you don't want to grind out their currency. Though it is, I think, much cheaper to get it from the Ixali vendor, honestly. So, from the Ixali vendor, we need 1 Zelphatal Spring Water, 13 Void Scent Blood, 67 Potash, 13 Minium, 11 Filtered Water, 9 Coke, 2 Cashmere Fleece, and 27 Animal Fat. Alright, next let's make the best man's gaiters. From regular old gathering in North Shroud, from mining we can get 1 raw lapis lazuli, and from botany 1 maple sap, 1 latex, and 1 cinnamon. Next, let's do... That should not be everything in the Shroud. There we go. Okay. South Shroud, found you in the list. In the South Shroud, we can mine for 3 silver ores, 18 effervescent water, and 15 black element. That might be everything in the Shroud, though. Next on our list, let's do Thanalan. We'll start with Western Thanalan. No? Yes, let's start with Western Thanalan. Okay, so in Western Thanalan, we can use botany for 1 Garlean garlic. And, okay, these next 3 items we can get from any Garlean castrum. Any of them. Any Garlean castrum will work. For the most part, actually. There's a few of them are in a few odd places. Let's see. I think Mordona and North Thanalan will be the best places to get those, so I'll hold that off for a moment. Central Thanalan, we can do mining for 2 rock salt and botany for 1 black pepper. In Southern Thanalan, we can do mining for 2 silex. In Northern Thanalan, after I get the next thing crafting, I think we are moving on to Weaver now. We can craft the Nana Bear minion. Nice. Alright, so North Thanalan. Yeah, the North Thanalan will be the best place to get it because we can get all the Garlean materials here. From Magitech Vanguards in North Thanalan, we can get 2 Garlean steel plates and 1 Garlean steel joint. And from Garlean foot soldiers in North Thanalan, Mordona, most places where there's a castrum, 2 Garlean rubber and 1 Garlean fiber. Try different foot soldiers, because different foot soldiers might actually drop slightly different materials. In Mordona, we can fight hippogriffs for 6 hippogriff skins. Then next up, we're gonna do Lenosha. But first, we got some more glamour gear. Pearl Roselle Capeline. Alright, starting from Middle Lenosha, we can use Botany for 1 sunset wheat and 6 straw. In Eastern Lenosha, we can hunt raptors up near the... Oh gosh. I believe the raptors are up near the entrance... The grass raptors are up near the entrance to Upper Lenosha, near Wineport. We can fight grass raptors for 1 raptor sinew. We can fight buffalo over near Costa del Sol for 1 night milk. That is specifically going to be, yeah, large buffalo and budding buffalo. Next up, we can fight Querals over in the forest south of Wineport for 9 Queral skin. And we can fight Upkalu south of Costa del Sol for 3 Upkalu down. Next up, in Upper Lenosha, we can... Nope, nothing in Upper Lenosha. It's Outer Lenosha I'm looking for. Outer Lenosha, we can purchase 6 vitriol from the Kobold vendor. If you don't want to get it from the Kobold vendor, I believe you can... I think you can also get it from your Grand Company for Grand Company seals. Alright, anything else? Looks like next up's going to be shopping for the bulk of the rest. Let me just get this set up. Okay, from your Grand Company. For Grand Company seals, you can get 1 Woot's ore, 2 smoked bacon, 1 roasted coffee bean, 1 borax, and 1 arachne web. From general merchants, just tradecraft merchants in any of the major city-states, we can get 2 mineral water and 1 buffalo milk. There is something that we can still get in Kurth's Central Highlands that I missed. From fighting the... oh, what are they? Fighting the ornery Caracoles in Kurth's Central Highlands, we can get 8 fleece. And from fishing at the Nail and mooching a Abelathian smelt, we can get 1 Emperor fish. And that is, again, going to be in Kurth's Central. Alright, we got some spare bond to extract. My inventory was so full, it looks like it's starting to empty out a bit, which is a huge relief. Okay, next is the bridesmaid's dress. Okay, what's next on our gathering? Okay, so this may actually require a bit of gardening. If you do some gardening, I don't know much about how this works, but you can do some gardening to get an item called Void Drake, I think. I want to say that's from gardening. I could be wrong. But at any of the housing districts, there is usually a material supplier. who will accept Void Drakes in exchange for materials. From them, you can get 2 Floss Silk. If you don't have access to gardening, or however you get Void Drakes, you can also get the Floss Silk from treasure hunting. Let me double check exactly which map gives it. Where are you, Void Drake? Where on my list? Should be right there. Oh, it's only listed as coming from... Well, Teamcraft is only listing as coming from the merchants in the housing district, so I'm going to assume that's the only place you can get it then. Because if it's not going to list the treasure map, I can't exactly give that advice. Because I don't know which treasure map would drop it. But you will need 2 of them, so that is 2 Floss Silk, I believe it was. Alright, after that, basically everything else is going to come from various duties, treasure maps, gardening, etc. So, let's see. From desynthesizing specific fish, namely Sweet Newts, the Lone Ripper, Olgoi Korkoi, or Shrieker, any of those 4 fish can give you waterproof cotton cloth. I don't have all my waterproof cotton cloth. That's actually rather... I need to grind that out. That is a little bit hard to find, it seems. And it's very RNG dependent. Which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate that it is RNG dependent. You can also get it off the market board, but it is fairly expensive. From gardening or the market board, you can get 1 Pearl Roselle. From treasure maps, specifically unhidden leather maps, which you get randomly from other treasure maps, up through Heavensward treasure maps. But as random loot from the unhidden leather maps, we can get 6 Mist Silk, and those are extremely expensive on the market board. From gardening or the market board, we can get 1 Glaze Nut. From desynthesizing various like crafter and gatherer gear, we can get 35 Fieldcraft Demi Materia 2. And from desynthesizing various crafting and gathering gear, we can get 40 Fieldcraft Demi Materia 1. From gardening, we can get 1 Broom Bush. From desynthesizing combat gear, we can get 1 Battlecraft Demi Materia 2. And from doing... I want to say the Circus Tower, and also possibly Labyrinth of the Ancients Alliance raids, we can get 1 Elegant Catalyst. Okay, what else is there for us to get? From the turns 1, 2, 4, and 5 of the Binding Coils of Bahamut, we can get 1 Elegant Leather. From those same turns, we can also get 1 Elegant Woots Nugget. Let's see, what's next on our crafting? Nothing there, so I think we're on to Alchemist then. Let's skip Alchemist for a moment, actually. Let's go on to do the Culinarian, so triple cream coffee. Okay, so for various raids and trials. From the Labyrinth of the Ancients, we can get a faded copy of Tumbling Down. From the fifth Coil of Bahamut, turn 5 of the Binding Coils of Bahamut, we can get a faded copy of Thunder. From the Striking Tree Extreme, which is Ramu Extreme, we can get a faded copy of Thunder Rolls. From Earth's Fount, which is Odin's Fight, we can get a faded copy of the Corpse Hall. From turn 9 of the Binding Coils of Bahamut, we can get a faded copy of Rise of the White Raven. From Circus Tower, we can get a faded copy of Out of the Labyrinth. From Akafa Amphitheater Extreme, which is a Shiva Extreme, we can get a faded copy of Oblivion. From... what's next? From Circus Tower again, we can get a faded copy of Now I Know the Truth. From the third and final set Alliance Raid in the Crystal Tower Alliance Raid series, which we have not gotten to yet, but I did buy this off the market board because it's cheap and I don't want to save this for Heavensward. We can get a faded copy of Hunger. From Labyrinth of the Ancients again, we can get a faded copy of Hubris. From turn turn 12 of the Binding Coils of Bahamut, where we fight Phoenix, we can get a faded copy of From the Ashes. From Akafai Amphitheater Extreme, we can get a faded copy of Footsteps in the Snow. From the third Alliance raid in the Crystal Tower series, we can get a faded copy of Blind to the Dark. Again, bought that off the market board because we haven't done it yet. And from Akafai Amphitheater Extreme, we can get 1 diamond tier. I believe... yeah, that is all the gathering we can do. So next on our list is going to be the pre-crafts. Alright, so as Carpenter, we can make 13 blank grade 2 Orchestrion rolls. 13 of them! We can also make 1 Spruce Lumber. As Blacksmith or Armor, we can make 2 Dark Steel Nuggets and 1 Dark Steel Ingot. As a Blacksmith, we can make 1 Wootz Ingot. As a Goldsmith, we can make 1 Lapis Lazuli, 1 Silver Ingot, 1 Platinum Nugget. As a Leatherworker, we can make 9 Quetzal Fur. As a Leatherworker again, we can make 6 Hippogriff Leather, then 3 Hard Hippogriff Leathers. As a Weaver, we can make 8 Woolen Yarn from 4 crafts. Again, as a Weaver, we can make 4 Undyed Woolen Cloth. And then we can make 31 Silk Thread from 16 crafts. We can then make 6 Vanya Silk. As an Alchemist, we can make 1 Rubber, 2 Natron, 2 Clear Glass Lenses, 2 Diluted Vitriol from 1 craft, then 13 Enchanted Platinum Ink. As a Weaver again, we can then make 2 Cashmere Cloth. As a Culinarian, we can make 1 Maple Syrup, 1 Maple Sugar, and 1 Sweet Cream. And from there, we can craft everything else we have not yet crafted in A Realm Reborn. So for us, that will be, as a Carpenter, Magic Stable Broom, which I actually skipped over because I don't have the bamboo sticks yet, which I need for it. We're moving over to Alchemist then. Alright, on to Alchemist. I think I do have... I think I still have most of the Orchestrion rolls in my retainers because my inventory was so full. But let's start with the Tinker's Calm. Alright, as a blacksmith, we are making a model Magitech bit. As a goldsmith, a thick-rimmed glasses. As a leatherworker, ice barding. 1 Best Man's Gaiters. 1 Bridesmaid Sandals. 1 Griffin Skin Eye Patch. As a weaver, a Nana Bear minion. A Pearl Roselle Capeline. A Straw Capeline. As weaver continuing, we can make 1 Best Man's Jacket, 1 Best Man's Slacks, 1 Bridesmaid's Dress, 1 Bridesmaid's Tights. And let's see. I'm gonna go need to grab things out of my retainers real quick, so let's go do that real quick and then we'll go through all the Orchestrion rolls. As an alchemist, though, we are going to be making be making 1 Tinker's Calm, and then a whole bunch of Orchestrion rolls. Let me just grab those out. And then we'll also be making a Spirit Bond Potion as an alchemist. And then finally, as Culinarian, Triple Cream Coffee, Bacon Bread, Flint Caviar, and Bacon Broth. Okay, let me grab those Orchestrion rolls, and then there's something I need to explain because there's something a little bit funky that I'm going to need to be skipping, unfortunately. And I'll explain why in a minute. I just need to get these out of my inventory real quick. So we need Hubris. We need Tumbling Down. We need 1 Out of the Labyrinth. 1 Now I Know the Truth. 1 From the Ashes. Let's see. Next up we need 1 Footsteps in the Snow. 1 Oblivion. And 1 Thunder Rolls. Okay. That should be everything. Now I can start going over the remaining things we are crafting. let me just get back down to my notes. There they are. All right. So let's see. First off, I'm gonna make that Spirit Bond potion before I forget. Where is the Spirit Bond potion? Did I make it already and then it accidentally made its way into my list when I didn't need it to? This feels into— oh, you know what? No, I know where it is. It is in my Demi Materia Mastercraft. That's where the Spirit Bond potion is. There we go. Now then. The orchestrion rolls we are making are Oblivion, Footsteps in the Snow, From the Ashes, Rise of the White Raven, Thunderer, Hunger, Blind to the Dark, Now I Know the Truth, Out of the Labyrinth, Tumbling Down, Hubris, Thunder Rolls, and the Corpse Hall. Okay, there are 11 recipes I'm skipping for today. And the reason I am skipping them is because some of the materials needed in order to craft them are rare, annoyingly so. Let's see, let's start going through and crafting those. So, the two materials that I was not able to get enough of and therefore cannot craft everything are the waterproof cotton cloth and the mist silk. Those are going to take a lot of extra effort to gather, and thankfully they just give us glamour gear, so I'm not too pressed about it, but it just means that glamour gear will be delayed before I get it. So, the glamour gear we cannot make right now are going to be Quarrel Talisman, Quarrel Beach Marrow, Quarrel Beach Briefs, Quarrel Beach Halter, Quarrel Beach Pareo, Quarrel Beach Tonga, Crescent Moon Cone. Oh, all the Quarrel stuff was Leatherworker. The following is all Weaver. As Weaver, Crescent Moon Cone, Crescent Moon Nightcap, Crescent Moon Nightgown, Crescent Moon Bottoms, and Crescent Moon Slippers. Effectively a whole bunch of sleepwear on the Crescent Moon stuff, and kind of like a bikini almost on the Quarrel stuff. It is interesting. Alright, so those are the 11 items I'm not able to craft right now, just because I do not have those very rare materials I need for them. And that is fine. Okay, let's see now. The only thing I have left to do is get the bamboo sticks when they spawn in 9 minutes, and then I can make the magic stable broom. And once I've made the magic stable broom, I'll go ahead and show all the minions and such that we got, and get them added into my checklist. So I will be back in a little bit once I have the bamboo sticks, and we will finish this up. Alright, I am back. I have crafted everything, and I've actually added everything to my checklist already, so now all we gotta do is go through and add it all into our collection. The magic stable rooms we crafted, those are used in housing, specifically if you have a chocobo stable at your house or at your apartment, you can use the magic stable broom to clean the stable. It's rather necessary. You don't want your chocobo resting in a filthy stable, do you? Anyways, let's see. So the things we have crafted are the ice barding, the Nana Bear, the Model Magitech Bits. I should have read the descriptions, oh well. We've got the orchestrion rolls for Hubris, Tumbling Down, Out of the Labyrinth, Now I Know the Truth, Blind to the Dark, Hunger, Thunder, Rise of the White Raven, From the Ashes, Footsteps in the Snow, Oblivion, Thunder Rolls, and the Corpse Hall. And I think that is everything. The two minions and then the barding are the main things, other than the many orchestrion rolls. Let's take a look at those minion descriptions. We have Nana Bear. The Nana Bear's origins can be traced back to Uldan Princess Nanako, who, on her 8th name day, asked her father for a bear. Despite a realm-wide search, no bears were found, and so the Goldsmiths Guild was commissioned to craft one from a drawing found in an ancient bestiary. There isn't enough honey in all the yard to satisfy that sweet-toothed celery from the Honey Yard Hive Keep. And the other one we got is... where are you? Oh, I'm right on top of it. This miracle of modern mechanics is actually a miracle of ancient elegant mechanics reverse engineered and then modified with advanced Garlean Magitech technology. Interesting. The Empire owes its might to Magitech, from Ida. I think the description for this minion said it was an exact 1:9 scale replica. That's very nice, very impressive. And that is everything for A Realm Reborn crafting. We're done! We're done. We are done at last. No more crafting. A Realm Reborn is done. We'll get back to crafting, of course, once we hit Heaven's Word. There will be new recipes. It'll be a while before those recipes start to outclass anything we have right now. For example, in terms of weaponry, our weapons are item level 135. The weapons we get at level 51 are item level 115. It'll take until level 54 to start having things that outpace. The crafter and gatherer gear might start outpacing a little bit sooner than that, but usually the first few levels of an expansion kind of give you just catch-up gear, in case you didn't do the full gear grind at the end of the previous expansion, just to help you make sure you're caught up with the item level requirements. But yeah, it'll be a little bit before we get to the point where, we're crafting new things that are actually, like, useful for us. Though actually I do want to check something. The grimoires and codexes. I want to specifically look at the codexes. Wyvern Skin Codex, -8, but this is also the normal quality stats. I want to see... Here we go. Rude. Very impolite. Like, obviously the high... wait, that's still at 133 and we're at 135. Still, the point remains this is normal quality stats. It also has the ability to be melded, so... I guess level 56? Level 56 Codex? As item level 139. Yeah, I'm just gonna hope that it gets better when you actually do the high quality. Because it ain't looking too great right now. Yeah, it may be a while before we start crafting things that are actually useful to us again, unfortunately. But the point is, we're done with crafting for A Realm Reborn, so hooray! We're free! I don't have to do it again. I'll see everyone next time as we hunt in Odin, I believe. I'll see everyone next time for that.